Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Morning Matcha. I'm here today with Guru Jagat, the founder of Rama Institute for Applied Yogic Science here in Venice, Los Angeles, and Mallorca, Spain. She's also the founder of Rama TV, which is accessed by over 200 countries and people around the world. And most recently, she founded Rama Foundation, which brings the healing and wellness modalities of yoga to communities in crisis and underserved populations. Hi, thanks for having us here in your beautiful space.
Thanks for having me. I love having you guys here.
And drinking iced matchas together.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I wanted to ask you about the amazing work you're doing with Rama Foundation and how that's going, because last time we connected was the party at Mar Vista, and we actually just got back from Mar Vista earlier today, and I thought of you. And it was so much fun being there and seeing everyone and White Sun performing. That was beautiful.
Their pre-Grammy performance.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that.
Seriously.
And so tell us about what's been happening.
Well, I'm very excited. I mean, we're obviously in development phase, but I think one thing that really kind of, you see these things, they mean nothing, but it's always nice to kind of see that you're ahead of the curve. And I know because you guys are really trailblazing. One of the 2017 wellness trends is basically giving back or doing wellness, not just for, the people who can afford it. So I was really happy to see that because it's truly of my heart. And the way that I've run all of my businesses are kind of door open policy. So we wanted to turn that into more of a consecrated nonprofit and foundation. So we're working on all sorts of programming, but one of the things I'm so excited about is I can't say too much about it, but there's a project that we are working to develop in Watts that's going to bring a lot of art and commerce and good restaurants and good food and wellness, Rama, all sorts of, and I hope you guys will come in and be a part of it as well. But it's a very exciting project to really kind of have a renaissance, like a Harlem Renaissance. This will be a Watts Renaissance.
Where's Watts?
Watts is in South Central.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it's going to be I think very important thing for our city just in general.
Are you working with like City of LA, or is it a private thing?
Yeah, we're working with people who are very kind of connected in that neighborhood, and it's such a rich history. It was one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in Los Angeles. There was a time, and then with Rodney King and the riots, all of that started in Watts. So it has a very kind of interesting history, and I think that it's apropos that now the kind of renaissance of that neighborhood is happening, and so we're excited to be a part of that. So that's kind of something, just a little teaser. But there's a bunch of other programs we're offering for homeless people, the homeless population, and also just not just the students of LA Public School District, but the teachers as well. I think that that's something that we kind of forget, that the teachers are so stressed out and they're dealing with so much. So they need wellness just as much as a lot of the students need. And so there's a lot of things that we're rolling out, but one of the things I was just telling you is that I'm speaking at the California Women's Conference in May. I don't know if this will be hitting the streets, but every ticket that's bought through kind of our link gives 15% back to Rama Foundation. So I think it's an amazing thing that they do. California Women's Conference is such an amazing organization. They're very, very, very just Aquarian in every way. They're very forward thinking. And so that's I'm
Where's
excited.
That?
That's in Long Beach.
Oh.
I don't know if you're in town, but
close.
I hope you can come. It's May 10th and 11th.
Oh, okay. I am in town.
Yay.
So I'll have to check it out.
Yes.
And how is it all day?
Yeah, it's all day for 2 days, just like action-packed conversation about this year. They're really talking about how do you take it into your real life. Like, it's one thing to go to a conference and talk about women's issues and societal issues and all of the issues that are facing us that are just like monumental right now. But it's another thing, and this is always my rap, is like, it's another thing of how do we actually kind of make it a daily practice to actually like be serve our communities
and follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to raise the conversation, and it's beautiful that that's happening right now.
I know.
But I think that especially with our generation and ADD and, just quick Insta story, Snapchat here and there and scrolling through our feeds, Facebook, Instagram, I think we forget to actually take action.
Yeah.
Or how to take action. Maybe we want to, but, paying or supporting an organization like Rama Foundation and these other organizations are great, but then actually like getting out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, it's tough. I always think about what can I do? And that's why I think it's really wonderful, the work that you're doing. And
Thank you.
I just kind of want to talk also about helping serve the homeless population. That's something, all of it is what I'm passionate about, but that's also something that really stands out for me.
Yeah.
I just wonder how they respond to it. And, how do you help? Maybe it's not the homeless population only, but how do you help people that may not even want to be helped?
Yeah, I don't think you can, to be honest with you. I think fundamentally there has to be and I tell this to people just like when we're talking about their families.
Yeah, friends and family.
Friends and family, yeah. Like if the person doesn't want to be helped, it's not. So I think there has to be a mutual, but a lot of times people want to be helped and they don't even know how to ask for what they need particularly. And I think that's what we find when we're dealing with not just the homeless population, but just the population in general right now. It's a lot of people are looking for something they don't even know they're looking for because they feel so lost. They feel so disenfranchised. Even, kids who are on social media and consuming, all of us who are consuming the way that we're consuming, part of the fallout from that is kind of the disenfranchisement. So I think anytime you're dealing with any population across the board, there has to be some sort of desire for something greater than what they're experiencing in that moment. But I've found that almost every human has that, almost every human, truly. So it's really about the way that we relate. And I'm always teasing about kind of the spiritual world, the yoga world, the wellness world. There's so much justified superiority. It's like just another place where we get to kind of feel good about ourselves or feel superior because we're drinking a certain drink or doing, we do a certain pose or, that whole thing. And that's not attractive to anybody. Nobody, whether you're homeless or nobody wants to feel like they
are less than.
Yeah. So that's how we relate. And just amazing things happening in the population of both homeless and also the addict population is really a place that we do a lot of work and people really getting massive healing, which oftentimes there's a lot of crossover to those populations.
Yeah. Do you know of anyone that's doing like Kundalini and 12-step, or is it kind of just utilizing Kundalini as a way to help with addiction on its own? Or
yeah, no, we have we have actually a session, a class, I don't know what to call it really because it's open to the public, just like a 12-step meeting. You can come, by not paying or by donation, whatever, every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. And that is a 12-step, a very kind of senior 12-step guy, been in the program for 27, 28 years, who's also a big Kundalini guy. And he's just like a big burly, he's a Brit, he's a big burly guy. His name is Christopher Madak. And he is such a great kind of testament that anybody can benefit. And so he's kind of brought the 12-step kind of
framework
into the Kundalini. So we do.
That's really cool.
It's awesome. It's really awesome. I've seen how much he's changed, and he's also Christopher's working out there with some teenage girls in a treatment center right now every week, giving them meditations and Kundalini. So all these populations, including the veteran population, we're working with a lot, having massive kind of results with the veteran population. So it's a good time to be, I think it's important to speak to the question before, if you don't think that you're going to do something, you have to be honest with yourself, cut through your own self-deception. Like either if all you're going to do is maybe make a donation, then that's like, at least you're doing something. But if you don't have the money, but you want to like actually give some face time, it's so valuable. And so I think if you just know, if you think of all the time you spend every day worrying about yourself and your own problems and all of your neurotic kind of stuff, even if you just put 10 minutes a day trying to serve something bigger than yourself, it makes a big difference.
Time, talent, treasure. It doesn't just have to be treasure.
Yeah.
It could be, my mother-in-law always says that.
What is it?
Time, talent, or treasure. You know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too. So you're doing so much, and I just want to kind of tap on that because you have both Rama centers, Venice and Majorca.
Yeah.
You have Rama Foundation, Rama Zine. Do you have Rama Radio?
We have Rama Radio.
Wow.
Which we have to, I would love to.
That would be really fun. And I mean, I'm sure so many other things in speaking engagements like you just talked about. And that just requires so much traveling.
Yeah.
So what's your like travel hack? Do you have one? Do you have to take some time off? I mean, obviously breathing, Kundalini is.
Yeah.
But is that enough?
Yeah,
I mean, what's the trick?
I told you right before we did this, there was like a meme that says biohack, eat a salad. That's funny.
It's like, of course, but why didn't I think of that?
Well, I want to say back to you that you guys are doing amazing. I know how huge of a birth the fullest has been, and it's really impressive. I think it's like revolutionizing a new kind of way of media and art, and it's something I just saw it and felt like this is what I've always wanted.
Wow.
And I think a lot of other people are feeling that way.
That's so kind.
Right back at you, girl. The travel hack it's interesting because we do travel and it's becoming so much traveling. Like just this morning, there was like 5 more things put on the schedule of traveling. I'm like, okay, it's, I'm a little like, oh no, this is just getting kind of insane. Cause I also would like to have a baby.
Yeah.
So
we
I
have to touch on that.
Yeah. I have to like be in town and have sex with my boyfriend in order to do that. No immaculate conception for Guru Jagat. So we're trying to work
Guru
that
baby.
out. Yeah. No. Yeah. Guru baby has to like be here physically for that. We can't put the egg in the ethers. But
soon that's like probably going to be a possibility, but not right now.
I'm sure they're working on it right now in some laboratory. But so in terms of the travel, where I'm always working, it's honestly a struggle, and I'm always working on ways but one thing that I found that is one of the simplest things I do that makes the biggest difference is putting liquid chlorophyll in my water all throughout the actual flight, because it's so antioxidant. It has so many antioxidants and has so much anti-inflammatory properties, and it's protective of the cells radiation. And it's very hydrating. I just feel so different.
Wow.
So I do that. I have a bunch of little yoga things I actually do on the flights to get my lymphatic system moving. So for the actual like that travel, and then when you get there, you have to say to yourself, I am on this time zone. Like you're not even allowed to think that you are ever on another time zone.
Okay.
That's a big one.
That's a really good trick.
It's a major trick. You're just like, this is the time zone I'm on, and you don't even think any other way. And my friend, who was kind of a rock and roller and traveled for many, many years, like on a gnarly tour schedule, he gave me that advice, and I've really practiced that. And I don't get jet lag the same way anymore. So that's a really great travel tip. And then traveling light is such a
like carry on, or just what?
I mean, I just try to be I only wear white, for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I've really kind of disciplined, because I'm a clothes horse. I'm a fashionista. I know you are too. So it takes like discipline, but if you really kind of get that you're only going to wear like several outfits, and then I love my new favorite thing is dry cleaning and laundry at hotels. I just love it. It's the best thing ever.
It's like $1 million, but it makes it so much easier.
It's cheaper than a bunch of bags.
Yeah, that's true. An extra couple bags. That's so true. It's a good way of looking. It's all about how you look at it and justify it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's perspective.
I know. It saves time.
Yeah.
But you have to, give it to them on time. So you have to think about it.
You do. You have to think about it. But so we've been, especially in Europe, because the Europeans, it's like everything's smaller.
Yeah, you travel so, I don't even.
And they're very abhorred.
How often do you go to Europe?
What'd you say?
How often do you go to Europe?
Well, at least 4 times a year.
To Mallorca or all over?
3, yeah, all over. Like I'm going to be doing London dates in June, and then and then we're in Asia actually for the first time. I'm teaching in Hong Kong and Singapore. I'm really excited about that.
And how do you make all the connections with these people? Are they already practicing Kundalini and you guys just connect that way, or is it new spaces, new people, and you have a great team that you've set that kind of connects with people all around the world?
I think it started with Rama TV because Rama TV goes out to 200 countries every day. People are consuming that in 200 countries. So I think it started there.
Brand new content?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow.
So I think it started there. I think, and then we were just talking about social media. I kind of get these like creative downloads on, and I haven't cracked the code yet, but I do feel like integrity is important to me. I've never spent money on any kind of social media likes or any of that stuff. I mean, occasionally I think we do some Facebook ads or something, or we used
for
to,
an event or something.
Yeah, but that's not like I've never bought a like.
Yeah.
And so I've really used social media as a space of kind of a discovery and in integrity, discovery of my own spiritual path, of my own daily practice, of just what it means to be an entrepreneur and a creative person. And I think that's magnetic in a way that people can't explain compared to what some brand person's going to tell you. Like if you use the same font or you use certain stock photography and all this stuff, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm always fighting with people about this particular subject because it's not that. It's the magnetism of something that's real that is portrayed through the lens of social media, in my opinion. So I think that's how I've gotten a lot of my international following is that I've used social media in an integral way.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you tapped on that because we're the same. And I'm the one behind our social media, I was just telling you. And I use it in such a different way. Even though I feel like I'm on it a lot, I'm using it to find out about the brands that are interesting to feature. And it's all going through my filter and I'm not using it. I feel like, I don't know. I'm just like, I think that I use it differently than everyone else. And I think that the way you just described it is very similar to how I use it. I just use it to see how we can I don't know, it sounds so cheesy, but make the world a better place or find out more and connect and build a community rather than just consume.
Right.
And
I think a lot of people are using it that way. I feel like it's I was just talking to some of our generation, what do we call them?
Gen Z.
Gen Zs.
Yeah.
And even digital media consumption on platforms that you would think are hip and cool. I won't name anything, but you would think are hip and cool and kind of the most cutting edge. They're seeing a decrease in consumption, I believe, because scrolling through social media and watching videos on social media is the new television and new, even from 6 months, 9 months to a year ago, the new kind of way to consume media. I just think it's very fascinating how it's changing the human brain. That's
what I want to talk to you about. Yeah. Have you seen that shifts or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a sensory shift because, again, I think that, well, we were talking about this before, it's already creating augmented reality. This is why I don't think virtual reality and augmented reality are going to get as big as the prediction is, because the social contact, it's sensory to a point where it's creating an augmented reality, and it's then enhancing what then could be connection. And like us, I mean, I don't know if we didn't meet on social media, but we certainly like knew of each other
because of it.
and now we have so I think it's enhancing real connection. It can anyways,
definitely.
But it's like kind of supra connective, and I think that is more fascinating than people getting in like a virtual reality porn suit and having sex in virtual reality, or having relationships in virtual reality.
Yeah.
That's going to get boring. Humans want to connect. We have an impulse to connect
in person,
or in this kind of augmented social media realm where we feel like we know each other.
Yeah.
But it's not us having a whole kind of fake relationship in virtual reality. I don't know. My prediction is it's not going to be what they think it's going to be.
And what are they thinking? I mean, is that stuff out already?
Oh, yeah. There's major money going towards virtual reality. They think people are going to live their whole lives. The prediction is that people will live literally their whole lives in virtual reality. And I'm saying I don't think that that's going to happen.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just wait and see.
It may not. Yeah. I mean, in our lifetime, I think it will be the deciding factor of how the kind of human, like we were saying about these Generation Z, like what is their impulse? I think a lot of them are actually having an impulse away from some of the high tech, not towards it. That's what I've noticed. Like my boyfriend has a 20-year-old daughter. She journals with a pen and paper. She reads books, not Kindle. She actually consumes less social media than I do.
Wow.
And she's like a prime time Gen Z.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, like I was saying, I don't know. I think that it's a big conversation.
There's both ends of the spectrum. I think it's a polarity, because I see people selfieing 24/7 and just staring at themselves, and I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, I don't know. I just saw that image right there of Yogi Bhajan going like this, and I thought for a second his hand was like this. Was like
he was the moment before that he was taking a selfie. No. Have you seen that? The guy who does how to be ultra spiritual.
No.
What's his name? JP Sears. He has something on the psychology of the selfie. It's brilliant because it really is. I kind of thought that at some point the selfie, like it was starting to get embarrassing for people.
Yeah.
Like that this is embarrassing that, we haven't reached that critical mass moment yet, because it really is such a. We were hiking on one of those like really dangerous hikes in Zion, and you have to grab these metal. Have you been there?
No, and I really want to go.
Oh, it's
but
so
that
beautiful.
Sounds really intense.
It's really intense. You have to grab like metal chains to get by like a whole area of this hike. People were holding with one hand on the metal chain and doing selfies. I was like, this is next level. I mean, because people die all the time, and I'm sure there's death by selfie. I am sure of it.
Hashtag death by selfie.
I think that there has to be. I mean, I actually haven't looked it up, but I'm sure there is.
That's horrible. But that's, if that's how you want to go, that's how you want to go.
I mean,
it's like that guy that invented the what is it? The electric thing that people stand on and they go around, kind of like scooters, but it's not an electric scooter. Segway. The Segway. Thank you. Our wonderful art director is telling us.
He knows all the answers.
He knows everything. Do you know he died from being on a Segway?
No.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And I was like, I bet so many people invent things that end up killing them. Because, I mean, think about it. You're doing it 24/7.
Yeah. No,
There's a high
many people.
likelihood.
There's many people on all sorts of levels that like, remember the guy, that Animal Kingdom guy who was always with like the really dangerous animals, and then the stingray.
Yeah. Steve something.
Yeah.
Steve
Killed him.
Irwin.
So no, there's some sort of karmic, thing
Yeah.
but that happens a lot.
Oh my gosh. Well, back to just getting so much, trying to be productive, but also having that self-care practice. I mean, just because you're doing so much, I think that's such a balance. And it's a balance that I struggle with.
Yeah.
We just recently had an issue called being versus doing. And that came up for me. The reason I came up with that issue is a year ago, I was like, I need to go to the gym and I need to do my Kundalini practice. And I also kind of want to get some vinyasa and maybe a little bit of stretching different. And I was like, I needed seriously timing my day down to like every 30 minutes,
Yeah.
which I tend to do a lot when we're trying to get a bunch of content, but not my self-care practice.
Yeah.
And it was crazy and it wasn't feeding me. So I ended up taking a little bit of time off, but then now it's just all work, which I love. Oh, and traveling. I mean, if I'm not working, I want to try and get as much travel in as I can, because I think, like I told you, I'm like, I want to have a baby soon and I need to get everything out of the way, which, the first few years is accurate, but you could travel with a baby. It's not the end of the world. But I just think it's tough to have that balance, and I get anxious. And so I just wonder what you do.
Well, I said to the girls last night, my boyfriend said, go to the Korean spa tonight, because we've just been like working like endlessly. And so I was like, come on, we're going. So we went, we like drove all the way over there. We went, we had barely enough time to like get our dinner in there. We had dinner there. Like, we got our massages, we got our scrubs.
Yeah.
We got in the car, and I was like, we just did that. We just won that. Like, I was like, we just did that spa. Like, I'm like, we are so fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was just, we just laughed the whole way home, because we just like so type A'd that spa
Yeah.
experience.
Oh my God, that is so true.
And so, I think we're just so messed up as a culture around this, because when we go to Spain, in my studio in Mallorca, I really study carefully the way they live, because there is very much a way of family and a way of everything's closed on Sundays. Right now it's the Easter holidays. Everything's closed for like days on end. Not like everything's closed for like, we'll be open, next Wednesday or something. I mean, we just
What
don't.
do they do?
I don't know. And I was teasing them last year. I was like, I'm sorry. I thought it was Easter Sunday, but like, no, Easter Monday, Easter Tuesday, Easter Wednesday, Easter Thursday. I mean, they are serious about Easter.
That's funny.
I'm a Jew, but so it was just Easter for weeks. I was like, whoa, this is the craziest. So I study that lifestyle, because Mallorca is very traditional. The Mallorquins are like this pre-Greek, like beautiful, just amazing culture that's very, very family centered and very old school. And, the way they are with their families and how they behave, and the 7-hour siestas and all this stuff, it really has taught me a little bit on how to be. And it's changed me. It actually has deeply changed my kind of urban type A wellness checklist, because anything that's creating more cortisol in your system, whether it's a hardcore fitness activity or work or something else, or like your idea that you're not eating well, a lot of people are actually getting the same kind of diseases that people who don't eat well. Now they're getting also diagnosed with the cancers and the autoimmune diseases. And they're like, why? I didn't eat wheat. I didn't eat gluten. I didn't eat sugar. And now like I have breast cancer. I thought for sure I wasn't. And I know that that's happening because of like all the tension and the contraction and the stress that we have around what it looks like to be healthy has become another.
Yeah, I experienced that. I mean, that was my experience in my health journey.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And a lot of people don't talk about that.
No,
so it's good that you brought that up, but that's exactly what happened. And I was like, vegetarian, then vegan, then raw, then, no sugar raw, no this. I was like terrified of food, basically.
Yeah. No, you become.
And it's like, wow, it's so sad. I mean, it was an eye-opening experience, but thank God I'm not in that place anymore because it's so stressful.
It's really stressful. And I make a joke, like, the way people look when they've been too gluten-free,
Yeah.
like it just becomes this whole kind of contraction.
Yeah.
And it's true though, like everything's like gets really like contracted. And we found that with some good pranayam, some meditation, just like householder stuff, pranayam, meditation. In India, if you go and you have health problems, if you're overweight or you have some other disease, they give you pranayam. They don't give you asana.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just totally like neurotic that Westerners think that in order to create, kind of weight loss or luminosity or radiance, that it's actually, it has to be like working out in hot rooms. That you look at some people who have worked out in hot rooms for a period of time, almost all of them look older than what they should look. I've watched this for years, that this whole working out in a hot room phenomenon, it's very dehydrating and just it's hard on the body. I'm not saying don't do it once, I don't want, but every day kind of. So the fact that that's what we think we have to do to be healthy is just another kind of part of our neuroses.
Where does that come from though? This type A mentality in our culture?
We're just Westerners. We're mad. We're totally mad because I saw like one gym on Majorca this last time I was there, and I was like, "Whoa, there's a gym here." I didn't realize I'd never seen a gym, not one.
That's so funny. It's because they walk everywhere.
They walk and they do some yoga, and it's just not like it's just a totally. But my experience, and Yogi Bhajan was kind of amazing this way. Obviously, I'm a zealot, but. His kriyas are short and are, usually there's a little bit of exertion, but then you always meditate and always and we find when people do consecrated, even just a little dose of Kundalini yoga, pranayam, meditation a day, they lose weight if they need to. They definitely de-stress. But it just takes a little bit. It doesn't take, and my chief of staff, Shabbat Preet, only doing Kundalini yoga, eating whatever she wanted, and maybe doing a little bit of walking because we travel. She lost 50 pounds.
What?
You see how skinny and like prancy she is?
When was that?
Over the past couple of years.
I can't even believe she had.
And she was not, she by no means was. No. But she lost 50 pounds.
She didn't have 50 pounds to lose. But yeah, she looks amazing and happy and vibrant and
never, she's not worrying about what she's eating whatsoever, ever. Maybe, I think she had to kind of get through it at first when she started losing weight, but, sometimes that triggers people's like neurosis. But beyond that, she was doing this little 9-minute kriya that's in my book, Invincible Living.
Which I'll give you
the plug, Invincible Living. It's a 9-minute kriya and, or 3, it's like a kriya is a set of exercises. She was doing that, basically that and nothing else every day, 9 minutes.
Wow. So no sadhana, or it was coupled?
It was part of her sadhana. Yeah.
Wow.
So she was meditating and doing that.
I'm going to try it.
It's amazing.
I'll report back to you on your radio.
The master set.
That's fun.
Yeah, please do.
And what do you usually do? What's your go-to? Because I think doesn't teaching, does it take a lot out of you, or is it just?
If I just had to teach, I think it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I have so many hats. That's what it really.
That's the part. That's actually.
Yeah, the teaching is. If that's
From
all I had
heart.
to do, I'm such a student and I love to study. Like I just taught this sex course, all of Yogi Bhajan's.
I know, I couldn't make it, but it looked like it was so interesting.
I've never taught anything like that before. It was all of these amazing, really untaught teachings of Yogi Bhajans around like deep sexual science and self-care and all that. It was amazing. And so like, that's my element. I'm like creating, I'm studying and cultivating these kind of amazing courses out of the teachings of Yogi Bhajan. So if I just had to do that and create content, I would be a happy little bird. But I am a CEO of 3 companies and more, actually maybe 3 definitely, and the foundation.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot. So that's the stuff that kind of, but what I try to do is I get up, I do my cold showers. I do oil like on my skin. Abhyanga is what they call it in Ayurveda, just like basically.
Like sesame or what kind?
I go back and forth, but I love Pratima's love oil.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh my God. But so you do that, jump in the cold shower. That's the first thing I do every morning. And it's amazing. I mean, I just feel so amazing. Like I actually have to keep myself from working because I'm so inspired.
Yeah.
So then I meditate and I work. I'm very creative at that time of morning, like anywhere between 4 and 5 in the morning. And so I work, and then those are my best hours, from basically 4 in the morning to 9 a.m. And then I teach at 9 a.m. But by the time I get midday, I mean, I've been up for so long, you know? So that's when we have to have a matcha.
5-hour energy.
Yeah, exactly. We need a matcha. I like to exercise in the afternoon. I love exercise. I love fitness. But again, I've had to pull off a little bit because I can get very type A about my exercise. I love to sweat. I'm very pitta. And I was stressing myself out. So I actually had to pull off of some of my fitness because I love to dance. I did hip hop, and I love to do all sorts of different
it's hard
modalities.
to choose. You want to do it all, and
it's so fun. I love fitness. I really do. There's only a couple things I don't love, but one of the things I've been doing recently is working out on the vibrating plates, which I love doing.
I love stretching on those. You work out on them?
Yes.
What do you do?
We do like a 20-minute like plyometric workout.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Amazing.
Where do you go to do that?
That's called Plate Fit.
Oh,
They're
don't
very
even know
sweet.
about it.
They're really a cool boutique fitness company.
Of course, everything's in LA, so
I know.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's in Brentwood and West Hollywood.
Well, thanks for being here. I guess my last question, which is, it's not really, it's going to be left open-ended because there's so many possibilities, but what's the future? What else are you cooking up for us to consume?
Yeah. Well, we're working on some really kind of cool, like more of a show, like not just like my class, but we're working on some amazing kind of things around actual kind of series, a show. So that's definitely coming down the pike, and kind of the real world Rama drama, what it means to be like a modern woman, and our team of amazing women, and
that's so fun.
I think it's going to be really fun. So working on that. I have a second book coming out, so I'm working on that, and then ultimately, my thing is a kids' school and a university. That's what my big vision is.
That you want to start?
Rama Academy and Rama University.
I had no idea. That's such a great idea, though.
Education's my biggest. It depends on what our endowments, how they happen, whether we can do it in LA. But yeah, I really want to have this Rama Academy for the young children. I'm spending more and more time teaching children, and it's like my passion. And then Rama University, and I totally see it. Have you seen any of the new Star Treks?
No,
but am I the only Trekkie like in the whole entire world? Yes,
I don't care at all. But tell me,
it's like it's called Starfleet Academy, and like the young Spock and the young, this is where they go to college, and it's totally my vision for Rama University is this kind of Starfleet Academy.
That's like how I wish I went to Hogwarts University.
Yes.
So if you're gonna open up one of those, I'm gonna go back to school.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. So
awesome.
that's the big plan, and that's that's kind of my life's work. So it's gonna take a while.
Well, thanks for having us again, and
thank you.
All the wonderful work that you do, and I'm looking forward to everything that you're creating. Thank you so much.
I feel the same exact way. You guys are really like it's a revolution, and I'm really, really touched by everything you're doing. So
well. Thank you.
Thank you.